Oh, fiddly diddly,
Okay,
catch
guys.
a middy me quick,
Here's
or I'll
the
be
question
gone.
of the
Fiddly diddly, catch a middy me, I'm a leprechaun. Back in old Ireland, in days of yore, there lived a little man who's seldom seen anymore. Stood 6 inches high and always dressed in green, a master of the magic, the best ever seen.
Motion, you have no conviction. You only want the sun. To this motion picture meltdown.
Okay, guys. Here's the question of the week. What is your favorite motion picture to feature a midget?
You mean a little...
No, a midget. Starting with you, DeHart.
Okay, well, movie, maybe, well, no, that was a puppet.
They're easily mixed up.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Who played Yoda?
Yoda was a puppet.
Yeah, Yoda was a total puppet.
Well, I mean, but didn't they have some, like, full body shots where he was walking around like a person?
I don't think so. I think they were carrying him on Luke's back. I don't know, man. Like... You don't get to count him, though, because it wasn't a puppet. I mean, it was a puppet.
I'm pretty sure there was a midget inside R2-D2, though.
Yeah.
Why
You mean
that
a
one?
little person?
That doesn't make any sense. Does he have, like, a little bicycle wheel?
Maybe.
That's how he steers him around. Okay, this went bad quick. I like Warwick Davis's TV show, Life's Too Short.
I see what he did there.
Well, it's a Ricky Gervais show.
Okay.
That stars Warwick Davis and how he's trying to get work and how he'll do basically anything for money.
Gotcha.
But he thinks a lot of himself anyway.
So the Warwick Davis show is your favorite movie?
Yeah.
Whatever, I'll accept it. I was gonna say Willow, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna go with Legend. Like, yeah, Legend's just... Philip just shivered and his eyesight got real dark and cold.
Why do you always have to bring up Legend?
Because I know it scares you.
You're an asshole.
Yeah.
That's you just because you're an asshole.
I'm an asshole. Yep. The goblins and the dwarves... Well,
What about Frankie Muniz?
Yeah, the goblins and little Frankie Muniz are just awesome in it. I mean, mostly the goblins. I have to say the goblins from Legend because they're just awesome all around. They look awesome. They're awesome voices, and it's just an awesome movie. So I pick Legend. Fuck you.
What about
They look awesome, smell awesome, taste awesome.
Yeah. Smells like an awesome. Must be an awesome.
I have to either go with Labyrinth or, to a lesser extent, Willy Wonka, just because they're not in that much.
The original Willy Wonka.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the newest one is called Charlie and the Chocolate
Oh,
Factory.
okay. So not the complete.
Not the
piece of shit.
shitty one. First of all, that guy's not even a midget. First of all.
Is he not
No.
really? Oh, I didn't know that.
No, he's not even a midget.
That is some bullshit.
Yeah. If you're gonna give me Oompa Loompas, they better be goddamn well be midgets.
You're gonna make Johnny Depp Willy Wonka, and you're gonna make a non-midget a midget? What have you done?
Fuck you, Tim Burton.
Hey, he's putting those little guys out of business.
Seriously.
And there was only one of him.
I know. You got Vern Troyer knocking on that guy's door like, hey, motherfucker.
What the fuck?
Little black dude from Me, Myself, and Irene.
Yeah.
Threatening to eat whale blubber and shit.
I know who you're talking about. It's as soon as he frees Willy.
Yeah, he's pissed too. Alright, so, welcome to Motion Picture Meltdown. I'm one of your hosts, Stephen the Roast Rosenberg.
Bill the Kill Collins.
And DeHart.
And for you today, we will be reviewing two pretty awesome horror movies. They thought I was going to say shitty, but I'm not.
Yeah, they are shitty.
No.
Wishmaster is slightly less shitty. Well, actually, I'd say far less shitty.
It's really kind of both. They are shitty and awesome at the same time.
Yeah. And because...
I thought that Wishmaster had poor acting, but I didn't remember how shitty Jennifer Aniston was in Leprechaun.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck if it's her first movie.
And with it being March, we had to do Leprechaun.
Obviously.
I think that was the subliminal mindset that
Even though it's like
DeHart was in.
14 days late.
Yeah, I don't give a
cares?
shit. Yeah, so...
Also, probably by the time this podcast is released,
It'll be April.
Yeah, fuck it. Springtime. Leprechauns.
Spring break! Woo!
Yeah.
God damn it.
This will be your spring break podcast. I think spring break's like now, though, so fuck it. Like Philip just mentioned, the first movie we're going to talk about today is from 1993. It is directed by Mark Jones, and it is entitled Leprechaun, which is a great fucking movie.
Terrible. A terrible fucking... Do all of them have Warwick Davis in them?
Well, all of them except for the new one that's coming out this year.
Now, is that a reboot or is that a sequel?
It's basically, I think it's a reboot.
Does it really matter? I mean, they went to space, for God's sake.
It's like WWE is putting it out, and they're
Is Hornswoggle the...
Yes.
Oh, God
Yes.
damn it! They're ruining everything.
Whatever. They didn't. There's no way to ruin this movie. The first one is terrible, and I imagine the rest of them are as bad or way, way worse.
Second one's pretty much the same thing. The other three are off the walls bonkers.
Yeah.
Fucking insane.
So, like you said, Jennifer Aniston plays the protagonist in this
Actually,
movie.
she just plays Jennifer Aniston being terrible at acting.
that's her role.
Extremely terrible.
I think
at
that's
acting.
what her role says in IMDb
Yeah,
here
it is
too.
what it says.
Yeah, and then of course Warwick Davis is the only other person worth mentioning, and he is the Leprechaun.
What about Daniel Grady?
No, not worth mentioning.
Well, there was one other person that's an alum of Motion Picture Meltdown.
And who would that be?
That would be Robert High Gorman.
What is he from?
He's from Mr. Nanny.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah. That kid from Mr. Nanny, I made a note
That's
of that.
the kid. Holy shit!
Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn it! This movie's still
And
pretty
the fucking Of Mice and Men Lenny character is just a retard. And the little kid tries to convince him he can have his brain fixed with surgery.
good. False hope.
So mean.
Brought on by a
Is that
child.
kid not the biggest fucking dickhead in this whole goddamn movie?
Yeah.
He's a bigger dickhead than the fucking leprechaun.
Yeah. I was really hoping his head would get shoved in that bear trap.
I don't really think the Leprechaun's that bad though. He just wants his fucking gold. Like,
I just want to know where the gold's at. Y'all see the leprechaun say yeah.
They should do a crossover with I'm Gonna Get You Sucker and Leprechaun.
yes,
That would be
that
amazing.
would be
It was
good.
called Leprechaun in the Hood.
So basically they
where
did
he
do that.
So
has
it basically is.
this classic line. A friend with weed is a friend indeed, but a friend with gold is better, I'm told.
God.
A friend with weed?
And the rhyming is the best.
Because Ice Cube, or no, Ice T. Sorry,
Same fucking guy.
Yeah, I mean, you
The
put the
ice
ice cube
guys.
in the iced tea, man.
the Ice guys. I got the names confused.
Okay.
The Iceman is coming.
The Iceman, of course. I got the names confused, but he gives him a hit off his joint. And it's like, oh, good shit. and then he gives the line.
It'd be better if he was, like, smoking, like, crushed up 4-leaf clovers.
That would kill him!
Yeah, but to say he can't do that.
True.
Although I think they completely forget that after this one.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
only way to kill a leprechaun, except for with a nuclear missile.
Like, and I
Take him
didn't,
into space.
I didn't watch this movie, like, for this podcast. I've seen it, like, I told Philip I watch this movie probably around 3 times a year.
Which
like-
is essentially
3 times a year.
Yeah, dude, I fucking
4.5
watch
hours per year.
Dude.
He pisses away on this shitty fucking movie. I will never watch this again.
Yes, you will.
No, I won't.
There will be one of those times where you will somehow be over here and I will be watching this.
I'll turn it off.
You'll walk into my house and turn it off.
Yeah. Come over uninvited and turn your movie off.
Well-
Save you from wasting your time on
Well, just thought you might be watching Leprechaun. See ya.
it. So anyway, if we ever are going to talk about the plot of Leprechaun.
Yeah, take it away.
So, an old man goes to Ireland for reasons unknown to the, to the
He's
viewer.
Irish.
Just had to go there.
Yeah.
Well, he was supposed to bring back his mom's ashes. And
Well,
he brought back gold.
He
instead.
mailed his mom's ashes. He mailed his mom's ashes ahead of him, supposedly. So he was there for his mom's funeral. But whatever. The point is, while he was in Ireland, caught a leprechaun, demanded that he give him his gold, got the gold, and then Warwick Davis hitched a ride in a suitcase, which I feel like is just seriously just horrible. That's
Yeah.
just, I mean, that just sums up people's feelings towards little people. It's just really fucked up.
Well, And it's not only that, but just think about, like, how shitty is the security at the airport that they don't notice that there's a fucking person.
Well, first of all, I think you're thinking about it too much, because he has the ability to teleport himself anywhere he wants.
Oh, okay.
So the whole thing, him being in the suitcase,
makes no sense.
Makes no fucking
Okay,
There's no real reason for him to be in there, except for just to pop out whenever the guy opens up the suitcase.
But just to humor
Or when
me.
the woman does.
Right,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he's crying, because he's in there.
Just humor me, though. Like, how shitty is this airport that they don't notice a fucking person in one of the suitcases?
Well, this is 1990. This is pre 9/11. Nobody even uses the.
Oh yeah, nobody gives a shit. You can kidnap people all the fucking time.
Of course.
Bullshit.
Leprechaun magic.
That's true. Oh, that's all you had to say was magic.
It's magic.
So go on.
So, anyways, his whole mission is to get his gold back, but he gets trapped into a crate, and then a four-leaf clover is set on top of it, and that prevents him from escaping for 10 years.
For some reason.
Yeah.
Well, apparently,
You can't go near it.
His bane is the four-leaf clover.
Right.
Yeah, it's his midget kryptonite.
So my question is, so he's in this fucking crate, and there's a four-leaf clover on top of this crate. I guess maybe the four-leaf clover just acts as like a giant weight, and it just weighs the crate
Kind of
down.
like whenever Thor sits his hammer on Loki, and he just can't
so
get
he
him.
can't lift
move.
anything that the four-leaf clover is sitting on.
Essentially, he can't go near it. Like, whenever he busted it out, he like ran away from it.
But that's what I'm saying, though. Like, how much space difference is there between him being near it or him being in a crate with it sitting on top of it?
Well, maybe he just can't touch the edges of the crate.
Yeah, maybe
He's just like just sitting as still as possible.
It's like
He can't move.
he's got his hat on the ground. He's sitting on top of the hat, making sure not to touch anything for the next decade.
Now, didn't the old man put the four-leaf clover on top of the crate?
Yeah, and he put 3 nails in it.
Right.
It's like, apparently he knows all the leprechaun rules, which I tried to look up, and I didn't see anything about four-leaf clover.
They made that up.
Wait, did they
pretty
have...
sure-
Is there other leprechaun rules?
No, not really.
So you didn't find anything. There's
Well,
just no...
I just went on Wikipedia and looked up, leprechaun folklore.
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 I'm about to say, first you turned into the chef from the Muppets, and then you went and looked up the leprechaun folklore.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, shit. So this guy... Okay, we're just going to assume that the director and writer
Made this shit
just
up.
made this up. Okay, let's...
Yeah.
Okay, good. Let's go on.
You gotta give him a little bit of leeway because...
Honestly, I don't think it's that bad. I think what's bad about it is everything else in the movie. For instance, the handymen are a child, a moron. Basically, he's mentally handicapped,
Right.
and just a handsome dude. And it's just 3 dudes that paint.
Yep.
That's the name of their business.
And they're really bad at it.
Really bad. Like,
And she's helping them.
yeah.
It's like, oh, we're good. You're gonna hire us. You're gonna pay us, but you're actually gonna do it.
Yeah.
It's all gonna be really bad too.
Yeah. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to climb up the top of the ladder and then just pour paint down the side of your house. And then whatever sticks to it, that's what's going on there. And is it biodegradable, she asks? What a stupid fucking question.
Well, she's from California,
Because
And
in
apparently-
California, latex paint is biodegradable.
She doesn't know where the fuck they were because she said something like
She said something along the line
Oh.
of, I don't want to spend my next month or whatever in Oregon or some shit like that.
she didn't want to be in New Mexico, and they were in North Dakota. You can't get much more fucking different.
Yeah.
First of all,
Wasn't there like a tarantula scene too?
yeah, there was a tarantula in the
Yeah,
basement.
in North Dakota, there's a fucking tarantula. Nope. I'm sorry, I just had to throw in the biology bullshit.
Goddamn right, tarantulas.
Yeah.
Well, the Badlands are in South Dakota, so it must have migrated
Oh,
north
yeah.
for the summer.
Must
Because of
have.
global warming.
Exactly.
Fucking bullshit. But I
Well,
love it.
I mean, because of magic.
Like, I can sit here and shit all over this movie all I want, but it doesn't change the fact that I fucking love this movie for some reason. I don't know why. I watched the shit out of it in the 90s. Like, when I was a kid, this obviously came on fucking USA like 9 times a day.
Right, but it was probably like 30 minutes long because of just cutting out all the gore and the 2 or 3 F words.
Yeah.
Fuck words.
Like, fuck Lucky Charms.
Oh, that's an interesting story because
Yeah.
there's a scene where the leprechaun is in the house and he's digging through the cupboards.
Yeah.
And he looks at a at a leprechaun branded cereal.
Right.
Which was supposed to be Lucky Charms, which the Lucky Charms people, when they saw it, they'd agreed to it before.
Right,
but
then
when
once
they saw it, they said, No.
You're like, okay, let's see. You have a leprechaun saying "fuck Lucky Charms."
Well, no, he
no.
wasn't going to say
Oh.
"fuck Lucky Charms."
The kid says that, doesn't he?
No. Well, yeah, the kid
says that
does.
at the very end.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's like after he reacts to it and throws, it's like, I think that's why they reshot the scene. They put it in a new cereal box where he reacts to the cereal and he throws it down like it's gross. And then at the end, the kid says,
Fuck you, Lucky Charms.
Best, by the way. Fuck you.
Fuck you, Lucky Charms and General Mills.
Yeah, they basically did that because fucking Lucky Charms pulled out of the project. They
That's
pulled
fine.
out and they shot their load out.
yeah, because they probably saw the movie and they're like, no, we're not putting our name anywhere near this piece
you
of
can go
shit.
ahead and reshoot that scene and just pretend like we never talked.
So they're just like, okay, well that's fine. Well, fuck you.
Fuck you, Lucky Charms.
Well,
We're gonna have a little kid say "fuck you, Lucky Charms."
I can kind of see where they're coming from. It's like something that brands himself with a leprechaun. Doesn't exactly want to have a leprechaun that kills people.
Pulls their
It's like-
eyeballs out, pogo sticks on their chest. Shit like that.
You got a guy that's like just watched Leprechaun and goes to the store and picks up a box of
Leprechauns.
He picks up a box of Lucky Charms and he's just like,
Fuck you, Lucky
yeah,
Charms.
maybe I shouldn't eat
He
this.
slams it back and he just gets marshmallow mateys instead.
Yes, obviously.
They're way superior anyway.
And way cheaper.
Way better.
So, Jennifer Aniston in this movie, Philip.
Very bad. I think it's seriously the worst acting I've seen this year. And I've seen a lot of shitty movies this year.
I don't know, dude. Well, we'll
I don't
want
to say of all time because I know that that's not true at all.
No, definitely not.
She delivers her lines, so she has it over like half the people from fucking Pumpkinhead.
Hey, Pumpkinhead is a good movie.
No, it isn't.
No, it's not.
It is.
It's not.
It's better than Leprechaun.
Lance Henriksen's awesome, but,
Yeah.
but that movie sucks.
He
dick.
carries the movie.
Yeah, but the movie is
And the
balls.
creature looks good.
And it's so,
I mean,
but the movie is shot horribly. Like it looks like shit, and it's all done in like horrible fucking tones too. Like the whole movie is in like blue and red tones, so it looks like shit.
See, I like that about it.
Well,
Well, I didn't have that. I didn't have a. It doesn't matter. We're talking about Leprechaun.
yeah. Let's go back.
Okay,
to
it's
that.
that.
So this movie was under $1 million budget, right?
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Well, shit. I was thinking it was going to be way under that.
Yeah, it was $900,000 budget, and it made like $8 million,
Well,
close to $9 million
congratulations, Leprechaun, for being a shitty horror movie in the '90s that made money, just like the rest of them did.
But one good thing about this, well, I wouldn't say a good. Well, no, I guess it's good in your eyes, and you're definitely not going to be surprised. Is the movie sold less than 100,000 copies?
Everybody went and saw it. They're like, "This is gonna be fucking badass," and it made all this money in theaters, and then everyone realized how bad it was.
Like, I'm never buying that.
When that comes out on DVD, I'm gonna take a shit on it right there in the movie store.
So Warwick Davis, of course, you'd know him from Willow.
And every other movie with a
And
midget.
he was Wicket in Star Wars.
Oh yeah, of course. I forgot about that.
He was an Ewok.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
also
and he's
one-
in the Harry Potter
Yeah, he's
series, too.
he's the main goblin at the bank at the Gringotts. I can't remember
What the
his.
fuck is a green guy?
Gringotts is the bank, the name of the bank, but he
Where they keep all the leprechaun gold.
yeah. Well, they keep basically Gringotts is this place where they keep all these magical items locked
What
up.
movie
and stuff.
are we talking
Harry
about?
Potter.
Potter.
Harry
Okay.
Potter. Yeah, and
That's why I don't know what the fuck.
and
we're
he's
talking
ran
about.
and it's ran by goblins, and
Okay.
and he's like the main goblin that runs it.
Alright.
Grip Hook, that's his name.
Pretty brutal name for Warwick Davis.
He's
to
in
have.
Chronicles of Narnia too, and he's actually awesome in that movie.
The problem is that he barely won a fight to a table in Willow. And after that, you're just done.
Barely won that fight.
Barely! He locked out and it happened to flip over.
It's like when the table almost whips your ass, then
You're on par with the villagers from fucking Beauty and the Beast. Like, you're just getting your ass beaten by animated, household items.
oh, by the way, he also
was in Labyrinth.
he was in Labyrinth, but we were talking about earlier. Leprechaun 3 is different, and then 4 is in space, and then 5 is in the hood, and then 6 is back to the hood.
Who the fuck was he in
okay.
the labyrinth?
He was a goblin, I think, right?
Yeah, one of the Goblin Corps.
Goblin
yeah,
Corps.
yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say, wasn't the main dude that was a midget?
No, he wasn't Hoggle. That was actually a puppet.
Hogwarts.
Yeah, no, Yeah, they call him Hogwarts.
Well, I mean, his face is a puppet.
Yeah, and then there was a little guy that was moving him. Back to Leprechaun. Now that we've told you about Warwick Davis, I'm surprised that Warwick Davis isn't dead, because it seems like all the midgets from the 80s and 90s are all like kick the bucket now.
Well,
They live half as long.
Yeah. False.
That's a straight up. No, I'm not gonna say it.
He's in his 40s actually. So
Seriously?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, he's not very old. He was
he
really
was
young
when he was doing
did
those
Willow.
movies.
Yeah, when he did Willow, it was like
Didn't look young.
He's always looked the same.
yeah, he was only 18 when he did Willow, dude.
He was born at that height, looking exactly like that.
Yeah. So, Philip, I really don't understand why you hate this movie so much.
There wasn't a single actor in it. It was all just garbage.
It was
Any 20 people ever could have acted in this movie.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
That's what made it so good, though.
Really?
Really? Okay, what about the tricycle part, or the big? Was it a big wheel or a tricycle?
It was a tricycle.
Okay.
It was very shitty and not scary at all. By the way.
And he catches up with that fucking car too.
Well, he has leprechaun magic.
Once
He
again,
didn't need the fucking tricycle to begin with. He could have just transported himself there.
That's true, but it's so fucking funny when they're driving away from him, and he's just like.
That's one thing that I
know.
noticed about both of these movies, and it actually is the one unifying theme. I think is that they both have a villain that has the ability to transport himself, but then sometimes refuses to.
I
For
don't think
instance-
he can actually transport himself.
Yeah, he can.
I think he must have been in his fucking suitcase.
He obviously can.
'Cause he doesn't demonstrate
There's a scene in the woods where he's just beaming himself from behind every other tree.
Oh, okay,
And he's
yeah.
like, it takes like, he's here
that's
1
different,
second, he
'cause-
looks over and he's there. There's no way in hell he can run that fast.
Leprechaun magic.
Hold on.
I'm telling you, he can just teleport himself. It's instant transmission.
What if he can only teleport between trees because he's one of the fairy folk? Aha.
So why didn't he get caught in the airport? I guess he checked that bag. They probably still x-ray those.
Yeah.
I don't think they x-rayed bags back in the day.
Plus, leprechauns
Back in the
don't
day, 1993?
They just had a
This
dog.
isn't 1950.
They just had a dog go by, and if they smelled drugs or
leprechauns.
Or bombs. Or leprechauns.
Fucking ridiculous.
If they smelled money.
Yeah, that's a good point though.
You
Like,
can't carry over a certain amount of money.
Well, I know that. I'm just saying, how would the dog have smelled money?
Because they train them to do that. Although they've shown that
money.
that some of that's kind of bullshit. Where they're just kind of like going by the cues of their trainers. It's like, oh, you smell something? It's like, yeah, give me a treat. There's something in there.
I'll smell anything you want
It's
to smell.
like, it's like, oh, do you smell anything in this black guy's bag? Yeah, I totally do.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh, there's nothing in there. Well, we'll still have to detain you for questioning.
Yeah, that's a good point, Phil. Because if I fucking had like transportation powers,
You obviously wouldn't be driving around a fucking big wheel or a Hot Wheel or whatever. What are those fucking things called? Power Wheel. That's what it was. And it was like a Barbie like Corvette or something that he drove back to
This is
the.
Barbie's dream car.
Yeah, no shit.
you know what I just said? I just said transportation powers. I totally have those powers. I meant teleportation powers.
Well, I think everyone has those powers that has legs
Yeah.
or a wheelchair.
But if I had teleportation powers, it's not like I'm going to teleport 4 days to work 4 days a week, and then on fifth day go, I think I'm just going to fucking drive today.
Exactly. You're never going to drive, because why the hell would you? I'm going to bitch about this more when we get to Wishmaster. Because it was seriously, like, the most Swiss cheese plot.
Okay, I think we should get back to the actual plot.
Yeah.
Last time we were talking about it, nothing had happened. They were painting a house.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ozzy, the fellow with the brain problems, he accidentally lets out the leprechaun,
Right.
and then he tries to tell everybody, nobody believes him. They see a fucking rainbow in the sky, which for some reason has like almost no colors. I'm gonna
If
follow
you're going
the
to
rainbow.
manufacture a rainbow, like, digitally, it needs to have more than 2 colors. Like, if you're just going to use, like, water and, like, a lot of good luck to try to make a rainbow, okay, then.
It looked like it had literally just one color until you got to like the very end of it, where they found the fucking gold.
Yeah.
And the
What's that
kids
about?
they found the fucking gold at the end of the fucking rainbow, like no sane person would think you should.
Yeah.
And the kids still didn't believe him about the leprechauns. Like, well, we got the gold, but
Well,
I don't know
that's just a
about
good
the
old case of
leprechaun.
Mayer syndrome right there.
Yeah, definitely. He's like, we definitely need to, like, save this gold so that we can give you brain surgery later. that will apparently make you not a retard.
The kid is a total dick.
Yeah.
Leads him on to fucking brain surgery that can correct something that's not correctable. And doesn't believe him about the fucking leprechaun when he has cold, hard proof in his hand.
He's like, look, we just followed a rainbow to a fucking bag of gold. I know it's not a pot, but seriously.
That's a good case of, okay, if there is smoke, there is definitely fire.
Another thing that I noticed about the movie, I don't know why, but for some reason, he seems to have only 100 gold coins. Is that what I'm guessing? Like, he counts them out and he's missing one and it's inside the...
In this version, yes.
the
Just 100.
But I mean, at the very beginning of the movie, he's got a fucking whole pot of gold that clearly would hold thousands of gold coins.
Maybe it doesn't.
Maybe it was
Maybe it's just most of a pot of gold completely filled up with just lead or something, and then just a couple gold coins on top to make him look like a badass.
Egg foam or something.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a reverse TARDIS. It's much smaller on the inside than you would expect.
It reminds me of those. It reminds me of those movies where it's like, you ever seen $100,000? And
When he
he
opens
opens it's like one stack of money.
It's like, yeah, it's way smaller than you would think. I'm just saying, like, sheer mass-wise, there's a fucking pot of gold, and then later it's just a little baggie of gold. It makes no sense. Also, 100 gold coins
It's
would not
easier
fit
for
in
a kid and his unfortunate companion to carry around a little bag of gold than it is a pot of gold.
I understand that it's a plot device. I'm just saying he should have never had the pot of gold to begin with.
And if he did have a pot of gold, have more than a fucking 100 coins in it.
We're nitpicking here. There was a fucking police officer pulling over a Power Wheels in this movie.
And acting it's like no, like
It was no big deal. Also, the Power Wheels was going like 70 miles an hour.
Was it Power Wheels or a tricycle?
No,
he ditched the Well, he didn't ditch it. He brought the tricycle with him to the pawn shop or the gold collector place, and then from there, after murdering that guy for his one piece of gold,
with a pogo
upgraded.
stick.
he upgraded.
He goes, that's right.
He says, "The luck of the Irish," and then he just gets into the
Oh.
the luck of the Irish. Also, if you ever, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but in the movie, he goes back and forth between having an extremely stereotypical leprechaun accent and then just regular Warwick Davis voice, which is honestly not all that different, but it's pretty distinguishable.
Well, it's more of just British whenever he's just doing his own voice.
Because this is normal voice.
Yeah.
God, I'm just reading plot synopsises for like Leprechaun 2 and looking at the covers of the other movies, and I just want to shit.
Give you the green
Also-
shits.
Also, I am right now also reading the plot of Leprechaun 2, and it says, on his 1000th birthday, a mean leprechaun gets to choose a bride by making her sneeze 3 times. Okay, first of all, what? Second of all, this leprechaun, the same leprechaun from the first movie, was 600 years old last year, and now it's 1,000. 1,000!
Well,
They
hold on.
age at an exponential rate.
They're like Jack.
So really, he's only like a year and a half old.
Yeah.
Wait a second. I think I figured it out. It's like, that's a different leprechaun.
It would have to be, but why is he
It's
also
just-
Warwick Davis? You can tell.
It doesn't matter. They all
They all look
leprechauns
exactly the same.
Oh, what are you saying there, man?
All leprechauns look the same.
Oh, what do you mean by you people?
You know, the wee folk, the fairy folk of the forest.
The fairy wee folk of the forest. I
It
think
would
we
have
should.
to have been a different leprechaun because that one, first of all, melted and swallowed a fucking poisonous 4-leaf
Well, we'd have to
clover.
watch Leprechaun 2 to see how he comes back in the beginning of that movie to see if it's the same leprechaun or not.
Well, they show another clip from I've seen it before. They show a clip from a past that sets it up
Okay.
basically the same way, and it's crazy.
So it's like a standalone movie, basically.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter because both movies are terrible. Another thing that I fucking hated about this movie was there was like a 40-minute long Scooby-Doo section where they were just running from room to room in the house. And I was like, when are they going to do anything? They've shot him like 50 times with this shotgun.
Yeah.
It's not doing anything. Stop it.
You know what the body count for this movie is?
4.
4.
4, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Fucking.
Still more than some movies get. Did you see Haunting in Connecticut? No one died. No one.
I feel like at least someone has to
A
die.
horror movie where no one dies.
Like,
Well, were they at least scared? Were
No,
they scared?
It was a
at
shitty
least?
fucking movie.
I mean, like Poltergeist, nobody dies in it except for like the actress after the movie was already filmed.
Nobody died except for everyone who dared make that movie.
Pretty much. I mean, awful, horrible shit happened to those people.
Yeah, terrible, terrible shit.
What do you think about this reboot coming out? Like, I'm gonna fucking watch it.
Well, I know you are.
Are you guys with me? Huh? Yeah?
I'll watch it.
I'm a
at
lot
least
more
once.
likely to watch it than I am the Ninja Turtles reboot. I
Oh,
can tell you
yeah.
that
No
shit.
fucking shit, dude.
And I'm done with people talking about how, oh, just leave it alone. It's a different kind of it's a different movie. Well, then why is it called Ninja Turtles?
Yeah. Oh, man. That...
It's not made for you. It's not made for me. We don't have to watch it. If you want to watch those old movies, those movies were pretty shit too.
I understand that they're going to make whatever the fuck they want to make. First of all, those movies are not shitty.
Well, I don't know.
They're a hell of a lot better than Leprechaun, first of all.
I look at it this way. If I can just, not pay money and watch a movie where a bunch of giant creatures beat the shit out of things, I'm probably going to watch it. I'll watch anything. I will. I
You
will
watch
fucking...
Borderline Cold.
Oh,
That's all there
yeah,
is
I
to
will
it.
literally watch
I've seen
anything.
that.
Therefore, if my fat ass can sit in front of a TV and watch a bunch of CGI Ninja Turtles beating the shit out of robots or something, whatever, give me a beer and like some potato chips and something, I'm good for like an hour and a half. I mean, I'm not going to tell you that it's good, and I'll probably be like, yeah, that was a piece of shit, but I still got to see giant turtles
So
beating
wait.
the shit of things.
Giant turtles. Are they giant?
They're really big.
What?
Yeah, I don't know if you saw the trailer for it, but they're like
I've deliberately avoided it.
They're much bigger than a human.
Compared to real turtles, they're huge.
I mean, I guess it depends on which turtles you're talking about.
We'll have to do a turtles podcast, and then
No, we won't.
talk
I'm not
about
watching the new
Teenage
Ninja Turtles.
Mutant Ninja Podcast.
So back to Leprechaun. You're not excited about this reboot?
I'll totally watch the reboot of Leprechaun.
You think it'll be gorier?
The acting will be better. I can tell you that shit.
Really?
The acting was
Oh,
so
okay.
Swoggle.
fucking
Are you kidding
terrible.
I really expect better from everybody except for Hornswoggle.
Okay,
But
but
that's fine. I'm just
but I
saying
don't because
overall.
it's a fucking WWE picture. It's not like, and it's like,
Yeah.
hey, let's be one of the most profitable fucking TV companies in the world, and let's just make a piece of fucking shit movie.
It doesn't matter. They're gonna make a zillion dollars because it's got so much name recognition.
Oh yeah, dude.
They've
And
got-
like John Cena will pop up in it somewhere, and like fucking rednecks will be beating their fucking pub to it.
I hate you.
Oh God.
I mean, I'm just
He's
saying.
really not that bad of a guy.
No, I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying that rednecks fucking love new wrestling.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like.
yeah.
It's like they hear the word WWE, it's like they go out and just buy everything that has fucking Edge or goddamn Randy Orton in it or whatever, and then
Well,
they
I
just
mean,
start
it's
whacking their pud.
If you have like 4 hours of television a week, you can throw in commercials on your time and not pay anything for it.
Yeah,
This movie is gonna get all kinds of fucking airtime.
absolutely. And
Just for the
and
ads.
WWE horror movies tend to do a lot better than like the shitty action movies they seem to shovel out every other year, like The Marine and The Marine 17.
And all the other Marines. In the
Yeah,
Marine.
in between, and then they had that shitty like kiddie comedy with Triple H, The Chaperone or whatever, which would actually be a really hilarious podcast in itself. Is just doing like some really terrible WWE movies. But anyway,
The Chaperone looked really, really bad.
yeah,
Like
dude.
maybe they should have never made that.
maybe they shouldn't have.
No, I mean just like for legal reasons.
Oh yeah, but See No Evil, that horror movie that came out with Kane in it. Now I didn't see that, but I've heard it's fucking horrible. And
It's just pretty much run-of-the-mill bullshit.
yeah,
You know?
but the thing is that movie got so much fucking press. That movie I remember had more press than fucking any of them.
I'm telling you, they have like multiple hours a week to just plug whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, the only successful actors, and I say successful in like the like most. I can't really say
Commercially successful.
Yeah, because
Not successful.
Hulk Hogan is not a successful actor, but he is a
Actually-
financially successful actor.
Money wise, yeah, he is.
And
successful.
then The Rock is like the fucking highest paid actor in Hollywood right now, which is crazy, but he is good.
Yeah, and a couple of guys that had decent runs when they were doing
Steve
movies.
Austin did a few where he was like
Yeah,
did
I
some
mean, he's
made
still
some money.
doing like
very
Garbage.
shitty.
Expendables type
movies
movies.
every
Well,
now
in like
and
Expendables type movies and shit like
no,
that.
which is a bit garbage itself, but
Yeah,
it's
whatever.
supposed to be.
Yeah, it's a man movie. You get some nachos and beer and you watch it.
Yeah, yeah. I watched Expendables 2 the other day. It wasn't too bad.
Right, because it had Jean-Claude Van Damme in it. That's why. And he would beat Bruce Lee.
I think we just need to get back
No,
to the podcast. So anyway, the Leprechaun, tells a lot of terrible jokes and rhymes everything and is short.
Hey, what
Movie
do
over.
you remember any of the rhymes? I don't remember the rhymes.
There was one about him playing pogo on his lung, where he jumps up and down with the pogo stick on the dude's.
Oh yeah. I don't remember exactly what it was. I didn't write any of them down because they didn't really stand out.
They
that much.
They didn't stand out. He just replaced like one word in a normal, nursery rhyme. It was just like, this old man, he played pogo on my lung. Something like that.
Oh, good.
There
So
you
nursery
go.
rhymes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for children.
Dude, I remember when you and I lived together, Philip, I remember buying this movie on DVD. Brady came over and stayed the night, and we laid in bed, and she was like, "Did you pick out a movie for us to watch?" And I wouldn't tell her what it was. And I just put
There's
it
a
in.
reason why.
And I just put it in, and like she just goes, "God damn it." And then just goes to sleep. Like immediately fucking went to sleep. And of course I watched the entire thing.
And then you watch the second one.
I have seen all of them up until the Back to the Hood. I haven't seen that one, but I don't remember them at all. I remember Leprechaun in the Hood. That's the only one I really remember because it was so shitty. But ironically enough, the director of this movie directed a movie I originally wanted to podcast with Leprechaun before you said Wishmaster, which I was just down with because I'd never seen it anyway. But he directed Rumpelstiltskin, which I think we're going to actually talk about later on in some podcasts like further down the line. But I originally wanted to do Leprechaun and Rumpelstiltskin, which is the same director, but terrible.
It's so much of it is basically the same movie.
There's no way in hell I would have watched them.
It's just Rumpelstiltskin looks real way grosser than the Leprechaun.
So it's better.
Yeah. What do you think of the makeup, guys, for the Leprechaun?
The face looks okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Leprechaun looks pretty good. Some of the wounds look good. Some of them look extremely poor.
Yeah.
Like your mom did that makeup to you before you went on Halloween night.
No, I think the makeup was decent for Warwick Davis. I think that or Warwick. I don't like. Is it Warwick? Like Warwick. Yeah. I know how it's spelled, but I don't know how he pronounces it, and I don't want to be a dick, even though I really don't give a shit.
So you're just sitting there making fun of the fact that he's a midget for an hour and a half, so you don't want to mispronounce his name.
Fuck it. Nobody recognizable really did the makeup for this movie, but
So we can skip it.
yeah. I mean, I guess he did some work on Gremlins 2 and the shitty Godzilla and Darkman. That's Sam Raimi movie,
Yeah,
right?
we should podcast Darkman.
Yeah, I was thinking Darkman and The Shadow.
Oh yeah, superheroes that didn't kind of take off very well.
Superheroes that
Or The
crash and
Phantom.
burn.
With Billy Zane. Do you guys have anything else to say about Leprechaun?
No,
You hate this movie, Philip.
It's extremely terrible.
You think this movie is bad.
it's fun garbage.
Yeah. Well, you'll watch it
It
again
wasn't
someday,
that
right?
fun though. It was really boring, and they, like I said, they Scooby-Dooed around for a really long time in the house. I was getting so tired.
You know, kids watch Scooby Doo for fun,
Well,
and it's garbage. It's the same
I
thing.
feel like this movie isn't really for kids though, because they say fuck a lot.
No,
Get
it's
this
not for
eyeball
kids
worked
at
out.
all. Like,
Well, that's what I'm saying. This is supposed to be for me, but it's not. It's terrible.
Well, no. I think what it is like originally this was intended to be basically a direct for kids movie,
right.
but they decide to make it gorier, which I think is still for kids because when did you see like these type of movies?
Well, it's for kids but as far as the Motion Picture Association of America, it's not for kids.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, but I still, when I first watched this movie, I was probably
better
6
whenever
or
I was
7.
like 5 and watched this.
Yeah.
they marketed RoboCop to kids. Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously
he had his
they
own
did-
fucking cartoon
And toys.
and
yeah,
toys.
lots of toys.
Yeah.
I had
And
some
they
of those
shot
toys.
it
Yeah.
like 50,000 times.
I know.
Yeah. And Kurtwood Smith is a dick.
No.
Well,
But,
at any
you know,
rate, he
just
pulls
different
the
way of
dude's
doing things.
eyeball out. I mean, that's pretty gross.
Yeah.
Gross?
It's gross.
It's gruesome
It's very
and gross. It's very gross for me to see that.
I think that DeHart should shave his head again but leave the like kind of horseshoe thing. He'd totally look like Kurtwood Smith.
You can pull a Kurtwood.
Yeah, definitely.
Bitches
Leave. Fuck yes. Dude, I'll go as Fat RoboCop for Halloween, and you can go as Kurtwood Smith.
He said you could be Kurtwood Smith, and the first thing you think of is bitches leave.
Yeah, duh. so fucking good.
Oh man.
So let's move on to our second movie of the evening, which is a movie that I personally have never seen before. Philip, have you seen this one?
No, I hadn't seen it.
I know you have, and this is actually one of Mark's favorite movies. So I'm kind of sad that he's not here, but whatever. But fuck him.
I mean, horses need masturbated. What can you say?
Yeah.
Joel's not going to do it.
Yeah. No. So we're going to talk about Wishmaster, and it's from 1997.
You can tell by watching it it's not from 1977, because there's actually... I don't think there was a director of photography for this. I think they just carried around a camera. That was the one bone I had to pick with this movie, aside from the plot being kind of hit and miss.
Yeah. It's directed by Robert Kurtzman, who's mainly a special effects guy, like makeup. I mean, he directed a few like shitty movies, but he's done makeup for several big movies, like John Dies at the End and unfortunately Texas Chainsaw 3D, which is one of the biggest pieces of shit I've ever seen.
The good stuff would have been earlier.
Yeah.
Back when he actually, would have gotten work because he was a practical
Right.
effects
I mean, some of the bigger movies that he did, I guess, were Pulp Fiction, Army of Darkness, Halloween 5, People Under the Stairs. I mean, some of these movies had really fucking good makeup in them.
New Nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, New Nightmare. I think that's Vampire. John Carpenter's Vampires, which was... I love the makeup in that movie.
Yeah, I mean, that movie's not nearly as bad as people...
Oh, no. Evil Dead 2.
Put the screws to it.
Phantasm 2.
Yes.
But then you look at some of the shits that he takes, and it's like 976 Evil, which is balls. Cyborg 2, no. The Animal, Philip, with Rob Schneider.
Ah, that one?
But he also did Bubba Hotep. He's
Hit and miss.
very hit and miss. But he is a special effects guy. He's not really known for his directing.
Yeah, he's not responsible for those movies sucking.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's just responsible for the effects, which were never, terrible.
Right. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about Wishmaster, and I'm just going to go ahead and say this off the bat. Andrew Divoff in this movie, he plays the Djinn.
Yeah.
Dude, he is such a shitty fucking actor. Like,
You don't like it?
Dude, okay, maybe he's good in other movies. Like, he's great in Lost. Like, he was fantastic in Lost. But god damn it, in this movie, he is ass. Like, I can't... Like, I was sitting there listening to him talk.
Let's dial it back a little bit. I think you're wrong here. He was ass, but not to the extent that you're portraying it to be. He was 3,000 times better than any of the people that acted in Leprechaun.
Well, that may be true, but I guess...
Well, what I'm saying to you is, you're acting like he's got the worst acting.
Well, this is way better than Leprechaun. I agree to that, but I still love Leprechaun.
No,
No, I don't. Okay.
you're not allowed.
But in this movie, it's like, I was just...
He did act poorly.
Oh, it was so bad. Like, when he's just looking, he's like,
But it's...
I'm going to get you, and you
That's
don't
what he was
do
supposed
wish.
to do, though.
But he was so bad at delivering these fucking lines, dude.
Make your wishes.
It was very Goosebumps TV show.
He was doing a lot of weird voice stuff.
Speaking of Goosebumps TV show,
Yeah. Oh, his makeup is just poor.
his evil demon facade
Persona,
whenever he's showing his real face, that is straight up the Haunted Mask.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
exactly the same.
And this probably came out a year after the Haunted Mask came out. Maybe
no,
two.
what,
No,
that's
97.
been before.
so probably,
No, the Haunted
probably
Mask...
around the same
The
time.
Haunted Mask came out in around 95, 96. This came out
I was a
97.
kid whenever that came out. And it
No,
would have been,
whatever.
Well, anyway, I'll talk about the plot a little bit. So the movie opens up, and it's just like fucking ancient Egypt, I guess, or
Persia.
Was it Persia? Okay, so
It starts awesome.
yeah.
It starts awesome and it just gets more awesome.
Yeah.
The movie is awesome.
The opening scene of this movie is fucking amazing. I love it. The practical effects in the beginning of this movie, when it's basically pans in on this guy who has unleashed this evil genie, and the genie is just basically wish raping him. Like, he's basically forcing him to make wishes because he's just annihilating everybody under this guy's rule. Angus Scrimm starts narrating, which is the slowest fucking narration I've ever seen, by the way. Did you guys notice that? Like, the words are on the screen and he's just like, the Djinn came back to claim all of the world.
No, I don't think it was quite this slow.
It's bad, though,
It was
dude.
kind of agonizing. But those are always pretty hard to get through. They try not to do them in movies now. I've
Well,
noticed.
I mean,
Yeah.
this one was particularly bad because there was so much information
Text.
he had to
Text.
jam in there.
Oh, yeah,
Because
absolutely.
It's like you have to set all the rules
yeah.
where the
Talk about the rules of being a djinn and where they come from and how they stack up between angels and regular people.
And do you really need to do that? Like, can't you just have like the djinn do that like throughout the movie?
Because he does do that.
You could do
right,
that. Yeah.
right. But god damn it. Okay, so
in the 90s, people needed movies force-fed to them, apparently.
Actually, if you didn't have the first scene, which is awesome, I think you could do that.
yeah,
Because you need to have the idea that there's a consequence if he grants that third wish.
yeah, and you can't open up with such an awesome scene like that without that explanation.
Yeah.
Like you'd have to go just skip that
Where
scene
there's fucking
altogether.
like snake people climbing the walls.
Oh,
a
yeah,
guy's,
dude.
A
A
guy's
guy's straight
arms.
That part was my favorite part
I
when the
know.
skeleton just burst out of the guy's skin and started walking around and choking out people, putting them in sleeper holds and shit. I was just like, fuck yeah!
It was like there was a competition between special effects dudes to see who could make the most gruesome thing happen.
Dude, I
And
totally
it was
fucking
just-
see
and
that.
it was just nothing but just one after the other.
Oh.
Just Snake Man, the fucking
People on fire.
frozen in the carbonite wall.
Yeah, it was like
No.
10 seconds of the movie and I see Han Solo and Carbonite on the fucking wall.
Sand carbonite.
Yeah, dude. And then it was fucking awesome. I totally agree with you because it was like one after the other. The dude had the fucking like the boils and shit come off his face and shit like that. I was
It
like,
was
this
really,
is
really
brutal.
badass.
Yeah.
It really set the tone for the movie because the whole rest of the movie was extremely brutal.
Yeah, I agree. That the practical effects in this movie I fucking loved, and I'm a sucker.
They fully make up for the movie having poor acting.
Yeah, and
kind of pretty crappy photography.
Well, and that's how I am with, especially with older horror movies, is if I don't care how shitty the fucking movie is, if practical effects are awesome, I'm more than likely going to enjoy it.
There's one thing this movie was missing though. For a movie that was gory and that could have easily had it,
Titties.
there was not a single tit.
No,
Nary
no
nipple
tits.
one.
I knew exactly what he was going for. There was not a tit. Like Linda.
I mean, not that it mattered because I didn't care, but at the same time, after I realized that, I was like, why didn't they have any titties in this movie? Like they totally could.
Yeah, like Linda Hamilton's doppelganger totally should have pulled out some tits or something. Like I was just like,
she looks better than Linda Hamilton.
oh yeah, absolutely.
She's like hot Linda Hamilton.
Yeah.
She's Linda Hamilton's little sister that Linda Hamilton was always jealous of.
But yes, I completely agree with the awesome special effects in the beginning, and it does set the tone for the rest of the movie. So to go back into the plot, the djinn is captured. Basically, I don't know who the fuck that guy was either. He was like Sorcerer Supreme or somebody.
he was
It was
the sorcerer
basically
for the-
it was the king's like personal sorcerer.
He was Jafar, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he was Jafar. Jafar walked in there and he was just like, I banish you to whatever, and then catches him in a little stone.
I don't think so, Genie.
And there was a really cool like him forging that genie stone.
Oh
At
yeah.
the beginning too, when they were
It
doing
reminded me of speaking of Angus Scrimm, it reminded me of like the bloodstone in Subspecies, except it didn't look like a ring pop.
Bloodstone was a ring pop.
yeah. Ring pop with a pudding cup on top.
And since you mentioned Angus Scrimm, this movie is a cameo fest.
Oh yeah.
For like people that are really into horror.
Yep.
I mean, Robert Englund,
Yep.
Tony Todd, who was the guy who played Candyman.
Yep. Kane Hodder.
Kane Hodder, Reggie Bannister, which is the dude from he's one of the dudes from Phantasm.
Oh yeah,
He's the
yeah.
Ice Cream Man.
Yep. Yep.
And Ted Raimi, who's Sam Raimi's brother, who plays Darkman.
And of course Angus Scrimm, like you were saying, who's in a lot of that shit.
And Buck Flowers, who was in a lot of John Carpenter movies, always as the hobo. Because he just looks like a hobo. He's a hobo in this movie. I think
he really is a hobo. Professional hobo.
And Robert Englund is actually in this movie quite a bit. He's one of the main characters.
Meaner.
The genie's trapped in the stone, which is then encompassed in a statue.
A Pazuzu.
Yeah. And
Exorcist tie-in.
And the statue gets bought by Robert Englund's character, and they're shipping it off the boat, and all of a sudden, like, they're doing a fine job, and everything's going fine, and all of a sudden the drunk fucking, like, control guy...
The only guy that happened to be operating the crane was also hammered.
Yeah, and spilling his coffee all over the fucking controls and everything.
Okay, that was a little bit much. He didn't need to be drunk and spill his coffee.
Right?
I mean, the genie wanted out.
Yeah, that's it. But then this fucking crate with a statue on it just completely creams this fucking assistant.
So brutal.
Yeah, like, it just falls right on him, and
I
Robert
don't think
Englund
there's a
doesn't give
single
a shit.
scene in this movie where someone doesn't get annihilated.
It's pretty fucking... pretty
There's a
brutal.
few.
a few scenes, but I mean, like,
Just a few, though.
Let's just say it's pretty rare.
yeah.
I mean, you kind of have to have a scene where nobody gets killed, but they don't really have any.
Some sleaze fuck walks over and steals the jewel that just happens to pop out of the statue whenever it breaks open.
He's just a dock worker, and he was like, "Hey,
It's like, hey, that looks shiny.
Yeah,
free jewel."
I get $100 out of this or something. So he gives it to his friend who, it chains around
he
and
sells it in a pawn shop, and then
they bring it
and then
to
the guy at the pawn shop tries to get it appraised,
right.
by
A lab.
right, which is like the doppelganger Linda Hamilton.
or wasn't. There was a couple more steps in there, but it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
The point is, they wanted to figure out what was wrong with it, and they figured out that if you shoot it with a laser, the genie will escape.
Well, no, before that, she's looking into it, and that's when she kind of awakens the genie.
Right, but
And
I mean,
then
it escapes with the.
It escapes by using the laser to explode the jewel.
Yeah, and explode the guy that's looking at the jewel.
Only partially. It's like, he has him wish his pain away by killing him.
The fucking genie starts out as a crazy, gross little worm guy.
Yeah, I hate his little penis worm head.
Yeah. Like you could see his brains.
Yeah, it was fucking gross looking. They looked like long turds that were just floating around, like wiggling around on his head.
Yeah, apparently he has to gain souls to gain power, I guess,
Right.
to have a body
Right.
that's proper and move around it.
And
like-
also swipe faces.
Well, and unlike most genies, they don't even have to say "I wish for something" in this movie.
Right, they just have to, like,
If
kind
they
of
want
want
something.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah,
If you want something out loud,
yeah.
That's a wish, buddy.
Wouldn't you say you want that powdered donut in there?
And this is what I'm saying is complete fucking bullshit. The part where he goes to, like, get the address of the Sarah
chick.
Connor lookalike.
Yeah.
He goes into her work, and he's like, they're completely closed down, and there's a police, like, security guard guy,
Right.
and he's just like, "Get out of here!" And he's like, "Damn it, I have to get out of here now." It's like, he just teleports everywhere he wants. Just teleport yourself in there and get whatever you want.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ, man.
dude. Yeah,
It's
the
ridiculous.
Swiss cheese pot.
but he told him to go away. And
Yeah.
that's a wish,
Why did he
buddy.
even ask to get in? He just teleport himself in there.
Go away. Do you want me to go away? Get the fuck out!
Do you wish for me to get the fuck out?
Right. One of the funniest things in this movie is the fucking homeless guy. I cracked the fuck
The
up.
homeless guy is definitely clip-worthy.
Oh yeah.
It's like a 20-minute rant of how much he hates this
He
pharmacist
calls it-
just for making him leave his stoop
He
and quit begging customers for money.
he tells him, "I hope you fucking die and float down to the gutter so I can piss on you."
That wasn't even the worst thing he said. What was he text me? He said it was like he's like the placenta of a gang rape. And
Oh yeah, he said he's the afterbirth of a Chinese gangbang.
I hope you die, you sack of shit. I hope you die, and I hope you float down the gutter so I can fucking piss on you. Bald-headed baboon. Piss-complected afterbirth of a Chinese gangbanger.
only in a Wes Craven movie.
Oh yeah.
So disgusting.
It's only Wes Craven.
It's presents, yeah.
He's
Yeah.
the only producer.
Well, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
At least it's not like a Stephen King movie where they forget how to cuss.
Darn you, you sack of buttholes!
Shark you sharking sharks!
See,
You
that's
mother!
I don't remember from his books. Do people cuss in his books?
Yeah, they
yeah,
cuss
all
in
day.
them, but not like that. I mean, Misery was a little weird with like "you dirty bird" and all that stuff.
Well, I mean,
but
Well,
that was just her
that's the
character.
character.
Right.
Yeah, every now and then.
There's cussing in his books.
Yeah, all the
Yeah.
fucking time.
All day, yeah.
I can't remember. It's like it's been I've only read like 3 or 4, but it's been years since I've done that.
Gotcha. Philip just opened up his Stephen King rules T-shirt.
Yeah.
So, basically, as DeHart said, it's real cut and dry. The Wishmaster or the genie basically just goes from person to person, trying to make them wish for things, and
He's
When they-
collecting souls and being a super sleuth to try to find Sarah Connor look like.
Right, because she's the one that needs to make the wishes
Because she originally unleashed him or whatever.
for him to become God.
She rubs it a little bit too, I think. The
Yeah,
jewel.
she breathes on it and then rubs it.
I think that
that's
was
probably
what
it.
the unlock sort of lamp
Because
style.
the jewel doesn't really explode. He just kind of explodes out of the jewel, and then he runs around. Why would he keep the jewel?
Right.
I mean,
and actually, the thing is,
That's where he puts the souls.
well, no, the jewel does
yeah,
explode because he picks up pieces of it and then it forges back into a
he
jewel
puts
in
it
his
back
hand.
together.
He has to use it. It's his house now. It's his little domain. He has the throne in there and all kinds of he has some kind of a dog monster, if I recall.
Yeah.
Something that chases Sarah Connor
yeah.
through the jewel labyrinth.
A jewel labyrinth.
Because
Dude,
later she ends up inside of it with all the people that he's stolen the souls
Exactly, and they're all being like hell tortured.
Oh,
like
yeah, their ribs are being
pineapples
ripped
crammed
out.
up their asses
Yeah.
and shit like that.
their ribs being fucking ripped out and shit.
of. But they're also kind of like monsters too.
Yeah.
They're like
Tokyo Gore Police.
cinnabites.
Yeah,
They're like
yeah.
cinnabites
Definitely
now.
like cinnabites.
Dude, I
From
wanted
Pizza Hut.
Which is a horrible name for any kind of creature.
Cinnabites.
That
Or for
really
a treat.
upsets me.
What is that
it's
from? I don't
okay
remember.
for
Pizza Hut.
It's
No,
from
what is-
Hellraiser.
Oh, Hellraiser. That's right. Okay.
The Hellraiser creatures
Right.
are called cinnabites.
Yeah.
Which sound delicious.
They do. God damn
They
it.
definitely don't
but
sound
it's
like they're going to torture you to death.
So why the
that's
fuck
for
is
sure.
it? So why isn't Hellraiser just suing the shit out of Pizza Hut right now?
That's a good question. Probably because of a difference in spelling, and also a difference in the fact that one is a treat and one is a murderous monster.
There's absolutely no way you can confuse the two.
No
Oh,
one
this
thinks-
murderous monster looks quite delicious. No, dude. Maybe it's just my stupid humor, but like whenever she's looking through the microscope at the jewel, and she goes, "I see something." I was wanting her to look through the microscope and just see the little Gina going,
Don't eat me!
like just see his little body in the jewel, like waving at her and stuff.
Oh, jeez.
This is my window.
Oh my god. He is so, you have to admit, Warwick Davis is a way fucking better actor than this piece of shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just saying, on the whole, Warwick Davis is the only person in that movie that could act. Everyone else was complete shit.
Yeah.
Then again, there was some pretty decent acting going on in Wishmaster.
I think he's better
Decent.
in other things. In this one, he's going for whatever
Yeah, he
whatever that
purposefully.
is.
I'm pretty sure he was drunk during most of the making of this movie. Too.
He plays a crazy Russian bastard in Air Force One. I remember that. He's part of
Sweet.
Gary Oldman's like crazy fucking
monster crew.
monster team.
He goes up to
Monster
Harrison
team.
Ford and he says, "Make your wishes."
And then Harrison Ford
Get
goes
the
like,
fuck off my plane!
"Get off
Do you
my
wish me to get off your plane?
Give me my family back!
on my
Do you
plane.
wish for me to give you my family back?
my
And
plane."
of course, as always, they would appear like up his ass.
Yeah.
That's where your family is. They're all collectively up your ass and exploding out your fucking guts.
Yeah, like,
So
and that's one thing we didn't really talk about is when the
All the
Wishmaster-
wishes come true, but in an
in a
evil
really
monkey
terrible,
paw sort of
fucking
way.
horrible way. Yeah, like
It's very monkey paw.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And that's like one of them was this girl. And the thing is that bothered me about this movie with the storyline. I guess not really the storyline. I don't know what part to describe this as. When he meets this new character and he's trying to get wishes out of them or something like that, it's like he brings these scenarios out of fucking nowhere because you have no introduction to these characters that he's using this on. For instance, the chick in the store. Out of nowhere, he's just like, "Oh, we're all getting old. Don't you just wish you were just beautiful forever?" "Oh yeah, well, I guess so." And then the dude who's standing outside, "Don't you hate this job? Isn't it the worst job ever? Don't you just wish you were somewhere else?" And
No,
it's
he
like,
just wishes to escape, and then he becomes an escape artist.
right? It's like
So
it's like
weak.
out of the weak as fuck. Like I
The
don't.
very flimsiest, for sure.
The only one that really made a whole lot of fucking sense to me was the because it's like different. It's like the bum wanted that other fucking guy to die, basically.
Right.
And so why didn't anything fucking happen to? I mean, I don't know.
Why didn't anything happen
He
to the
did
bum?
get his. He did get it. He got his soul.
Sold. I know he got his soul, but what I'm saying is like it seems like that when the people wish, something bad happens to them with the wish. And it's like
true,
with
but
that
he,
guy.
he wanted that other guy dead, but what it was the old homeless man didn't really want him dead. He just was pissed off and hammered.
Right.
Whenever he saw him, like disgusting and like his face melting off.
It was like crazy cancer AIDS or something
Yeah.
like that. It was just like
Cancer AIDS.
Well, I mean, I've never. I mean, okay.
He wished that he would get cancer, and he died of cancer in like 1 second.
Not only, yeah, but it's not like that. But he had like boils coming out of his face.
Or
and,
cancer
like,
boils.
Yeah.
Those are tumors.
And his eyes were all like popping out and shit like
Right.
that.
I mean, the bum didn't really envision that happening. He just wanted him to die eventually. Possibly going through a few rounds.
At least now the bum can piss on him.
No, he can't because he doesn't have a soul.
Oh, that's true. And souls can't piss.
Until
the piss lives in the soul.
Until Sarah Connor thinks of the wish that would make all of this go away. Even though there are a million fucking wishes she could have wished for that would have done the same fucking thing.
Let's not get there yet. Let's get to the party.
The party is well worth talking
The
about.
party is the same. To me, it's like the extended version of the first scene in Persia.
Yeah.
It's like we're all of your horriblest.
Hey, dude, it
we're
works.
all of your most horriblest dreams come true.
Yeah.
It's like I really wish this party would get exciting. Oh, you wish that it would get exciting, do you? And of course,
he turns her sister into like shrapnel. Like, first of all, he freezes her into like some kind of weird. I guess it's glass.
Oh, you see right through me.
Yeah.
This guy has like suits of armor, and he brings them all to
that was
life
badass.
and statues, and it's like that.
The dude that got his face
awesome.
caved in by the mace. Yes.
Yeah, dude, that was cool. I wish they would have shown that though. The only thing that bothered me about it was they didn't show the mace hitting the face. Like, they showed the mace swing, and then they cut, and then the mace is just, like, there on the guy's head, and then he moves the mace, and he's got, like, an indention in his face.
That's because you can't hit people's heads with maces.
Yeah, Steven, they should have really beat that guy to death.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that, like, they showed so much other brutal shit in this movie, just so a special effect of somebody getting hit in the fucking face with a mace.
It's not going to look as good as you think it would, because either they're going to have to swap out for a fake head, which you're going to know, it's like, hey, that's a fake head.
I kind of prefer a fake head, though. Like, I think
or they're going to use a CGI head.
No.
It's like, I think that was a little bit above their pay grade at the moment.
They kind of steered away from the CGI in this movie. There was some. Like the piano wires.
And it got... Any CGI in it was pretty fucking awful.
It was bad.
It was bad, but it was sparse. Like, there was mostly practical effects, one of which I didn't mention, and it was my favorite effect in the movie. That fucking guy that gets his jawbone ripped off in the police station.
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah.
I seen you rip a man's jawbone off. I synced it.
Yeah, that was fucking awesome.
He tells us, I don't know, what did he say? He said, I wish I could get that guy dead to rights. And so he's like, oh yeah, you wish you could get this guy dead to rights? And then he just takes a gun and just starts killing everyone in the police station.
Yeah.
Well, you got him. He also pulled someone's jawbone off.
Yeah.
It was real nasty.
They ended up killing him though. Like they couldn't even
I mean, they had to kill him. He just kept killing people.
Yeah.
It was either kill him or just wait for him to kill everyone else.
Yeah, no shit. And was that Tony Todd? No, Tony Todd was
Tony Todd was
the guard.
he was the bouncer at the party.
Right,
he wasn't going to let him in. And, you know, they had a pretty good scene together. I don't remember exactly how.
That guy looked... the black cop looked familiar, too. I can't remember.
It wasn't Carl Winslow, so I don't know who it was.
Because there's only one black cop out there.
Carl on duty.
Actually, no, there's
cops.
two. There's Danny Glover, and then there's Carl Winslow.
Oh, we're going to hell.
Fuck it. Yeah, the party was pretty cool. Like, you had the chick that exploded into shrapnel and just, like...
She killed like 20 people, just her.
Yeah, just her. And then somehow was in, like, the painting of fire.
No, that wasn't the same actress. I heard you say that earlier. She didn't... Her
sister
sister wasn't the girl who turned to glass. It was just some random...
Oh, okay. I thought it was her... They looked alike, didn't they?
They were both blonde, I think.
Okay. Oh, was she the girl that she thought was her sister in the movie? Remember she walked in there and she was like, hey, and she turned around. Okay, I think it was her. Okay. Well... And then there was the dude who got fucking his head decapitated from the piano wires.
He got his head decapitated.
Yeah, because he could decapitate his leg or his arm.
Whatever, fuck you guys.
Well, it wasn't just a decapitation. His fucking head got ripped off by piano wire. It didn't, like, wrap around his neck and slice it off. It just pulled it off, which was infinitely more brutal, in my opinion.
And I love the statue part. When he made all the statues come alive and just start murdering motherfuckers. That was cool. Thing that I didn't like was the shitty Jack the Ripper coming out of the painting and like
that was very.
He was like,
poor.
I was so fucking poor. Dude.
It's like you ran out of money. you had to raid the closet for any other costumes you might happen to have.
Slinking around with that shitty knife. He's like, and he just cuts the dude's fucking throat or whatever. I'm like, fucking really, Jack? What is this? Fucking Dungeon Master.
Yeah,
Yeah, fucking horrible. I mean,
one thing we didn't talk about was that there was a psychic link between Sarah Connor and the very terrible actor guy.
Sarah Connor, like that is.
That's her code name.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So every time somebody gets killed or every time somebody loses their soul, she knows it because
she has a horror orgasm.
Yeah, she has a horgasm.
A horror.
She's like, ah! She screams and doubles over in pain.
Yeah.
Because she has some kind of psychic link to the monster.
Because she's the one
that rubbed him off.
Yeah, she rubbed him off. So
she rubbed him out, man.
She shouldn't have rubbed him out. Then then nothing would have ever happened.
What I really don't like about this is how the genie. It's like basically his only rule is that he can't kill himself.
Right.
He can change fucking time. Not gonna explain exactly what he does, but what the fuck?
Yeah, like.
Well, it's because
why would you always go for that?
Wait, why wouldn't you always just say, "I wish that you never escaped from your genie jewel"?
Well, there's probably the writer of Leprechaun probably wrote some sort of genie rules that we actually didn't figure out about in this movie. So,
no, there were genie rules. They were right there at the beginning.
Well, but there's probably more genie rules.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'm sure
First of all, he can't die because he blows his brains out and his brains just reform.
Right.
Sort of Tony Shalhoub style from Men in Black. And then it's like, well, it really fucking hurt if it's any consolation. You fucking idiot.
And yeah, you're totally right about the...
First of all, that shouldn't have used a wish because he can't die.
You're
so
right.
she can't just use a wish on something that can't happen. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Second of all, the first thing she should have said was, "I wish you never escaped from your encapsulated form inside of the jewel or whatever the push pop."
And it's gone. And how the fuck do you not think about that? Like that's the first thing I would have. Okay, well, I wish none of this had ever happened and you weren't allowed to escape.
Yeah. Fuck! It was like that fucking part where the security guard's like, "Get out of here," and he's like, "Oh, I have to get out of here because you told me to." And it's like if the security guard would have just kept his mouth shut, movie over. Yeah. You can never find out who this woman is because he can't teleport himself in there for unknown reasons.
And if you're gonna say fuck, you got to do it in his voice too, like just fuck. just so pissed. It's like, well, what the fuck am I gonna do now? Because this movie is over.
Okay, so what was your guys' favorite special effect from the movie?
From this one, the skeleton. Like the skeleton coming out of the fucking body looked so awesome. When his hand, when his hand and arm just ripped open and his fucking chest ripped open, I was just like, holy shit! I can't wait to see the rest of this movie.
I was really wondering where the rest of his organs went, though. I mean, he was a skeleton immediately. There was no...
I thought they were like dragging out from underneath and they fell back into his
little
pouch.
He just stood up as a claymation skeleton, which is fine. It's magic. But I was just like, couldn't they just had his guts dropping out?
The snake guy was really cool looking too.
Super fucking cool.
Yeah.
It's like they reused that in the second movie. The guy pulling out of his skin.
Oh, really?
They reused that effect in a casino.
Like, is it practical or is it like...
Oh, yeah, practical.
Oh, it is practical. Okay.
I guess because, it's like, we've got that effect lying around.
Fuck it.
Yeah, we did that already. It wasn't that hard.
Poor CGI, by the way, we forgot to mention. The snakes coming out of the fucking walls or whatever and biting people in the face.
Yeah.
Was that in the party or was that in Persia? I don't remember. I think it was the party.
Yeah, I don't think there were any snakes in Persia.
Yeah.
In the Persia scene. I'm sure there were snakes in Persia. Okay.
You felt my bullshit.
You're like, there's no snakes in Persia?
There's no snakes in Ireland. That's what I mean.
It's like, have you played Prince of Persia or ever heard of it?
Okay, I've got to give you my favorite wish from the sequels to this movie.
Oh, okay.
Okay. This guy. Okay, the second one is set though. Like the first half of it is set in prison.
And you said the second one's slightly worse than the first one. It's not as good, but it's
slightly
not terrible.
Worse,
basically the same movie with just slightly worse.
I want to get to the two after that in just a minute.
Okay.
But this one is just like particularly hilarious, stupid thing. Okay, this guy is in prison. He's talking to the Wishmaster. He's like the first guy to have his wish granted. So he doesn't know whatever he says is going to happen. And he's like, I'm in here on a fucking trumped up charge. And it's like, if my lawyer wasn't a piece of shit, I'd be able to walk free today. And it's like, well, is there anything that you wish? And it's the same guy.
He's like,
Obviously.
It's like,
It's
well,
the
you
same
know,
guy.
I mean, I've made a lot of bad decisions. I guess I don't really have any wishes. It's like,
He's like,
damn it.
he's like yeah, I wish that motherfucker would go fuck himself.
Fuck yes.
No.
Does he go fuck himself?
Yes. It's like he bends over. It's like the guy's getting ready to leave the room. His lawyer is like, well, according to this, I fucked up completely. I must be an idiot. It's like, we're going to be able to get you out, like, today. It just, I've got to do a little paperwork and we'll get things rolling. And the guy is like, oh, man, this is terrific. And he's getting ready to leave. He's like, but there's something I got to do. And he's bent over the fucking table. And, well, he's facing the camera. So you're seeing, like, a head-on shot of a guy bent over a table. And then you see his feet come around upside down. And it looks fucking garbage. It's just fucking feet. It's just fucking feet.
fuck?
And he's like, oh
my god.
He's fucking himself.
Oh my
But his
God.
lower half's still attached. How the fuck does that work?
It's not.
Why is his legs upside down? You'd think that his dick would just like stretch around and go right up his ass.
Who the fuck directed that movie?
They need an ass beating. That is stupid as
Jack
fuck.
Shoulder? You need to die. Well, you know what? He fucking directed Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Oh my god. That is the most homosexual movie I've ever seen. No joke.
Even worse than the end of Footloose.
Yes!
We're talking about...
We're talking about a movie where we never actually podcasted.
Yeah, I know. We did.
Because we did fucking podcast it.
Fuck you, computer. But, I mean, all in all, like, I fucking loved this movie. Like, I thought it was, I mean, I'm not going to go around and say it's, like, a great movie or anything, but it's, for the practical effects, and for the, like, for somebody that says, hey, you want to watch a shitty, cheesy, fucking awesome horror movie? Totally would recommend this.
Oh, yeah.
If you liked the first one, you'll probably like the second one.
Really, even with the fuck
And
yourself?
if you like the second one, you might not like the third. Because,
Did you watch all 4 of these?
they're all on Netflix. I watched
Oh,
all of
son
them.
of a bitch.
Like, I watched all of them in the same
You
weekend.
marathoned them. God damn it,
So
DeHart.
gross.
Okay, the third one, it's like the djinn is defeated by summoning the personification of Michael, the archangel, from the Bible.
So when did biblical shit come into any of this?
Actually,
Well,
it came in at the beginning.
Yeah,
At
at the
very
very
first-
Oh, it
beginning.
did?
But
Yeah.
you know, 'cause God created man and the angels and
And
but
the jinn by
were-
accident.
The jinn were assholes, so he said, "Fuck you! You have to live in Jinn Town."
Gin Town.
These were.
Djinnessee.
I hate you.
It's like I would kill you all off. That would be genocide.
Oh.
Did he really say that?
No,
Oh, okay. I was going to hate it even more.
that one it's fucking awesome compared to the fourth one,
Really?
which is all just fucking melodrama because she ends up. It's like it's always a woman who ends up,
Woman protagonist.
unleashing the djinn.
Well, yeah. I mean,
It's like she makes her third wish, and her wish is something that can't possibly if you're going by Aladdin rules anyway, he can't grant.
Aladdin rules.
It's like I really want to fall in love with somebody for who they really are, he's in the form of this guy. And he's like she doesn't think that he hears. It's like, I wish that I could love you for who you really are. And it's like, well, fuck, I'm a genie. That's who I really am. How do I grant the wish? I must make her love me. and he spends his time trying to make her fall in love with him. It's a fucking piece of shit.
So it's a love story.
Yes.
Like, if it's no
fucking
horror themes at all.
baffled.
No, there are horror themes because he's still fucking over other people. But it's all pretty fucking. Oh god.
DeHart, I've never seen you this pissed. You threw something across the room. Why did you do this to
It's
yourself?
total bullshit.
I didn't expect the fourth one to go that far off the fucking rails. I mean, yeah, granted, the third one, you were already teetering. You were off the rails. At least halfway.
Fuck.
At least half off the rails. You were kind of like Dukes of Hazzarding. This one, it's like, if you were Dukes of Hazzarding off of something, and then somebody who's Dukes of Hazzarding came and hit you, you're that far. You don't even know where the fucking rails are.
Great.
Where are the rails?
Terrible.
So to end up Wishmaster, she wishes that basically it never happened, and that's it. That's the fucking end
Very
of the movie.
clever, Sarah Connor.
Yeah, like,
Clever girl.
good job. So, I mean, I don't really have much more to say about this one, but
It's fully worth watching and can be watched for free on Netflix and Amazon Instinct Video.
although I would watch both of these movies.
No, you wouldn't.
Anyone who wants to watch Leprechaun, just ask and I will let you borrow it.
Just enabling. No one should watch Leprechaun. If you didn't see it as a child, you're not going to think it was good, like Steven.
you really might enjoy Leprechaun in the Hood.
Okay, so to wrap things up, let's go ahead and plug a few things. If you ever need to find us on Twitter, please follow us and spread the word. You can find us at MPM Podcast. You can find us on iTunes, where you can subscribe and basically download all of our episodes for free. You can instant stream us from Unitedcypher.com. Just scroll to the bottom of the page and click the link or save as. Or you can instant stream us from Facebook. I do post all the episodes on our Facebook page, which is Facebook/Motion Picture Meltdown. You can find us on Tumblr and YouTube. Check out a couple of podcasts that we listen to sometimes. Return of the Living Podcast. They're based out of Louisville and do mostly horror themes, like talk about horror movies as well as horror shows and haunted houses. Also check out Nerdonomy, Nerds on Film. A bunch of nerdy people talking about
Nerd shit.
nerd shit. Yeah, I mean, they go into a lot more depth into movies than we do, and they do a lot more research, but they don't talk as much shit. But it's a fun podcast to pass the time with.
I've listened to that show. They talk shit. Too.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Well, I
They
mean,
got a few good shit talkers.
but that's really all we do. I mean, it's just only shit.
Yeah.
That's our bag.
And we don't really praise people.
Well, when people do something good, we'll give them a little praise. Aim higher, folks.
Check out.
Don't make a fucking Wishmaster movie where it's about falling in love with a fucking genie.
So shitty.
Check out fivefingertees.com. You can find awesome t-shirts on there for pretty low prices. Also check out Empire Comics, based out of New Albany, Indiana. And with that being said, folks, we will see you next time. I'm one of your hosts, Stephen the Roast Rosenberg.
Mark the Shark Hinton. Phil the Kill Collins.
And DeHart.
And we'll see you next time.
I've searched and searched my whole life through. My whole life through.